Would you ever encourage your daughter to get plastic surgery? A mum has gone one step further and admitted she doesn't care about her daughter's education because she, in her words, isn't academically gifted and she wants her to focus on her looks instead. In her words, she will need to rely on her looks to get on in life, so she'll need to be perfect. Ugly people get nowhere these days. So is there any truth in that? Rob, I'll ask you first of all what you think.
I mean, all of the most attractive people I know and the most successful people I know are people who are emotionally literate, are gifted in all sorts of ways, and it always emerges from the inside. Yeah. Sure, although we have to acknowledge there is a truth that, frankly, people who are more attractive do, I think, to some extent, get a little bit of privilege, but only for about 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah, they get their foot in the door, don't they?
To an extent, I think. But no, this woman clearly has got the intellectual range and, in my judgment, frankly, all of the wisdom of an airline salad. And she is...
I really wondered where you were going with that.
I did.
It's a deeply troubling thing to tell your children.
You kind of feel sorry for the daughter. I mean, she says her daughter wants to be a model, which obviously, I suppose, looks matter if you want to be a model, but does her daughter want to be a model, or is her mother pushing her to be a model? Also,
and there are lots of different types of models.
This lady's made the headlines before because she lied. She went to a GP and lied about depression to get a nose job on the NHS.
Her. Oh, God,
yes.
Say no more.
It's like a form of, well, it's a form of extremely bad parenting to bring up a child based... First of all, she said, oh, she's not very academic, so she's condemned her intellectually. Now she's saying that she's obviously not pretty enough to be a model and she wants to get fillers when she's 16. So she's condemned how she looks.
And I've seen a photo of her. She's beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, very beautiful.
I'm outraged at that comment because it's like, you know, she's 14, she's still growing into her face. She is actually beautiful.
She is beautiful.
So it makes me think that maybe the mother's trying to live something through the daughter and forcing her to do this and that, and she's like looking at certain role models that have...
Or imposing her own body dysmorphia onto the woman.
Exactly. I think that it's really unfair to have this this shaming of your daughter at such an early age, and the confidence for the daughter. Where's her confidence going to be? I think the daughter should just stand up to her mum and say, you know what, Mum, it's my body. I'm going to do what I want with it, and I'm not going to disfigure myself.
I think that taking this woman who is clearly out of it, I think you can look at it in a different way, not taking what she said, but that the looks aren't important, but it is important, I think, for people to present themselves in the best way. I've seen people going for jobs before and they say, well, you know, you should... this is who I am. This is who I am. Take me for what I am. It's not about what I look like, and it's not about what they look like, but it's how you present yourself. Yes. So if I was interviewing for a job and someone came and they weren't dressed appropriately or they had greasy hair or something, then I would judge them on that for sure. But that's not about aesthetically how they look and making changes. At the same time, as you say, if the girl wants to be a model, it's important to encourage that if that's what she wants to do, but not by changing the way you look.
Does bring up a really big problem, which is that the mum is projecting exactly, as Jane describes, a very narrow image of what beauty is. And that's such a big problem, and I see it in my amazing goddaughters. You know, they are delightful regardless of things on the outside. And they've all been shoehorned and conscripted into this incredibly narrow idea of what beauty is. And actually what's really exciting, some of the good news on social media, is that there are people out there, people like Jamil, who I really like, saying actually there are a variety of ways in which you can be beautiful. And a woman like this is doing more damage, it seems to me, than years and years of all sorts of violence that have been frankly projected on women by magazines and, frankly, by a lot of men.
And I do worry that if that is your parent, what chance do you have as a child of kind of getting yourself out of that mindset that you've been taught to have?
Which you've been taught to have at such a young age, so that, therefore, as you do get older and everything that you possess, that you think the only quality that counts is what looks back at you in the mirror. So when you do get to the age of 50, which, dear God, apparently you can now volunteer to be euthanized, as you were saying.
Life starts at 50, not 40. It starts at 50.
I'm struck. I was all right with the whole idea of 50 in January. Now I'm not so sure.